I just finished Melissa Albert's The Bad Ones, and this is a young adult horror novel that you have to read. So The Bad Ones is set classic setting for a horror story of small town America and some weird stuff's happening. Four people go missing in a single night. One of those people, Becca Cross, is the best friend of Nora, the protagonist of the book, and they've been estranged for 3 months. They had a major fight and it broke their friendship off and they were kind of ghosting one another. And even though they had this distance, that love is still there. And when Nora gets this text out of nowhere that says, I love you, she goes to Becca's home. She's not there. And it goes down this spiral of trying to figure out what is happening. There's cases from years ago that no one's ever really recognized about missing persons cases. There's a young game that a lot of people play in their childhood about this goddess that somehow has to come to play. There's all these pieces to the puzzle, so it's like supernatural horror, but also like this dark investigative story as this girl tries to go down this road and figure out what happened to her friend, what happened to these other people, but mostly what happened to her best friend and where is she? Is she okay? Is she involved in this? What's going on? It's such a great mystery that had such a satisfying end. I had such an inkling for what was happening, and I scratched the surface. I wasn't completely wrong, but I felt so certain about the exact answer, and the way it unravels in the final act is so satisfying. It's such a great mystery. It's such a page turner. I just could not stop reading this book. And the chapters are pretty short too, so you feel like you have that momentum going with the pacing. Is just so good. The characters are great. Nora's such a great, flawed protagonist. And then there's such great friends that she has. The relationship with her parents, her sister, some teachers and staff, and it's just a great cast of characters in this dark young adult mystery horror supernatural mystery thing. A lot of different things going on. It's really great. I had such a blast with it. I was so compelled every page of the through, whether it's just Nora's flaws coming through of some for aggressions and insecurities and depression, or what the hell's going on? What's the answer? What's coming next page? This is such a compelling read. I highly recommend it. I had an absolute blast. I got it signed at the Los Angeles Times Festival of Books and met Melissa Albert, who was super cool and very friendly to talk to me for a minute. I didn't even plan on buying her book, actually. I was just waiting for another signing of another author who was at the same booth. She was just sitting there. She went through a couple, signings, talked to people and stuff like that. And I was like, hey, your books seem kind of cool. She had 2 books on display, The Bad Ones and something else. I was like, The Bad Ones, the cover's really cool. What's the deal with it? And she told me. I went around the other side of the booth to purchase the book, came back around, got signed, took a picture. It was pretty cool. So, yeah, highly recommend it.